Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. I hope you all have enjoyed your Christmas and are ready for the New Year's of what's to come for you guys in 2018. And if you did enjoy your Christmas, feel free to comment below what you guys got up to, so I can see what, if you have been engaging with some of these Christmas vlogmas, since it's now drawing almost near to the close as well. I want to wish you all a happy New Year, and hopefully in saying this that you are keeping safe, healthy and warm and whatnot, or even just cooler, depending on what climate you're in, obviously, what, you know, country you're stated in, because every country is different. So as you know, basically, you know, yes, I'll be away, as said, as of the first week of January, so I'm hoping to push out as many videos for you as possible for your enjoyment, entertainment, education, whatever it may be for these videos. As you know, I'm health related, and I'm humbly apologise in advance with you all if you're maybe getting sick of some of the same repetition of what I may share, but I just want to bring the message clear and straight of some of the ones I want to share, because that's where I lie with health and awareness. This is also advocating, mentoring people like me to actually, you know, bring out more understanding, and that we're not all the same, we're all different on that spectrum of autism and whatnot. So this one's all about autism and toxic friendship relationships. Push the like button. Some of this may sound coherent or similar, shall we say, in the way of what I'm about to say, but that's okay, because somewhere in my playlist there is what is love of my definition and all that, and some other bits and pieces that I may bring out of the playlistings for you in the description below or above you, so that you can follow through of what I'm saying. So in the last few months leading up to 2 years now, maybe from memory, or even more than that, I had to say a few goodbyes to people in my life, either in person or on Facebook, or some other form of communication method for myself, to make myself feel comfortable. Even though many people may not agree with this, this is not the right way to go about it. You should, by rights, just, you know, do it face to face. But for me, you know, sometimes I feel kind of nervous still being around certain people that have been, you know, disrespecting my boundaries and whatnot in my life. So I thought the easier way, hopefully, to get the message across for these people that doesn't belong in my life, basically just to, you know, Facebook message them or what have you, for the valid reason of no support from them, but constant negativity. I always had constant negativity about certain things that I do in my life, and as we know in life, we shouldn't have all these negativities. We should be able to balance it out with the positives as well, if that makes sense. We should be finding people that we can call friends and have our back through the good, bad and the ugly. I feel that in my life, that, you know, what I've learned so far after being diagnosed with obsessive syndrome, also, that, you know, people will have your back for a sort of time frame, and they won't celebrate your triumphs, and that they're just waiting for you to fail time and time again, and actually just stay on your feet regardless what it may be that throws at you. But as many people know me by now, I try my very hardest to conquer everything I can, regardless of all these hurdles I have to jump through as well. And I'm hoping in saying this that, you know, I am who I am, what makes me today, of what I've been through in the past and present. I've had in my life that we shouldn't all need to validate our feelings, however, or our emotions, or tend to question ourselves to what we need to know in life. As some things are worth exploring, some are worth just maybe, you know, holding on to, and actually be on the lookout of what of some of the signs that are red flags or what have you, if we are in a relationship here, say. But as we know, it's just worth exploring and learning more along the way when we do go on this life together. Even with our life, it tends to create havoc for some of us. Yes, many people come and go in our lives, as I said before. Some will test us, some will break us, some will just tend to really want to just test our boundaries, test our limits, test everything in us. Sometimes some are there for the good in our lives as well as some in the bad, you know. Some will test us in everything we need to be tested on, be it patience, be it, you know, our inner strength, be it our inner courage, or what have you, that we have found that most of our weakest points, that they should be able to test us on that and actually build us up and create it as a strength if they were their real true friends. I've also learned that sometimes if we don't let go some of these type people that has caused the havoc or negativity, then we are forever trapped in their guilt, insecurities, doubts about us, and including themselves about what they should have done in their lives, even if they are having a picture image right now of a mirror that's reflecting on them, that's, you know, them, the problem, not us, you know, when we're trying to push on forward. You see, sometimes we're not the problem. We just got to accept that, you know. Sometimes it's them. Obviously, again, as I said, based on the insecurities and that, they just want to put it all on us. And that sometimes for many of us autistics, especially since we're the, you know, empathetic kind of person or a loyal person, sometimes we don't always see the red flags or even the warning signs that are ahead of us. Full steam ahead, you know, this is what's happening and whatnot. Letting go of some people can be hard for many of us, yet we need to do it making sure of our insanity and our health is in check. I have so many people just tend to say to me is, why did you do this to me in the first place? You know, as they don't understand to my reasonings to why I let them go, you know. But then, do I have to answer to them all the time about letting go? Basically, they should know. Because time and time again, what I've learned also with some people I've had in my, you know, past and present of trying to learn to let go is that, you know, they tend to think that, nah, they want to keep holding on to and suffocate the poor precious life out of me. Regardless, even though, as I said before, I'm the kind of girl that gives many chances, but now I'm trying to learn now not to give too many chances out, because obviously I'm too endearing and trustworthy in that front, basically, or as some people have noticed, I'm too forgiving in that front. But in saying this, I can forgive the people that has hurt me or has created negativity or whatever it may be and letting go, but why should I be partaking in the amongst the midst of what they're doing? It's not great. We should be able to be free from the toxicity along with the negativity, etc., that doesn't belong in our life, and to claim back what is rightfully ours in our life, regardless what they've, you know, done, be it if they've stolen our peace, joy, or stolen something from us that is rightfully ours. I have time and time again and a few times sent a few Facebook or even text messages for some of the people explaining why I needed to distance myself from others, and also blocking some of the ones that I thought were toxic in my life, especially after my past experiences of what I've been through in my life. It was a very hard thing to do, to be honest. Yes, it is an emotional time when it comes down to it, but then I thought to myself, no, forget about it. Then it's all about you now. You need to look after yourself. You're number one. You know, this is what I'm learning now. It was a very hard thing to do, let's be honest and frank, and it will be hard for many of us. But I had to do it to become apparent that the relationship wasn't based on mutual respect, basically, or being able to come to a mutual understanding based on that respect, mutual respect, as well as making sure that those boundaries weren't, you know, toxic. And obviously many of the times that with the ones that I've had in my life, he or she has become toxic in my life, so I thought, no. I didn't do this, however, forever lightly, but it got to a point of no return, and obviously it was making me ill, having too many arguments with and disagreements, and I wasn't at peace within myself as well as within that person or people that I was basically going through in this point of time. But now I won't forever go into too much more detail here, but this video I'm hoping isn't really about my friendship with that person or what have you. Yes, I can agree to a point that it's a lonely road to travel when you cut down some people in your life, but then again, they say many Many are chosen, many are called, few are chosen, and that we need to follow through of what we believe in. Yet we need to take pride in ourselves of what we do, and to be sure that we are doing it for the right reasons for ourselves and no one else for that matter. So that's what I've just said. That's what I was trying to do. It's about understanding, identifying, and managing toxic friendships and relationships. For us autistic people especially, autistic people can have significant challenges around managing toxic friendships or just making friends in the first place. This isn't just for autistics, however, as I am sure some of the NTs will have had difficulty with this, but knowing to know when to read these red flags as well. A friendship may start out toxic or become that way over time. For people who has been isolated or lonely, the offer of friendship can be a welcome thing, and it may be hard to accept that the friendship is toxic. In fact, a toxic friendship or intimate relationship is usually much worse than having no friend at all or a partner in crime. That is very hard to distance yourself from the one human being in your life, even if their presence is forever damaging to you. We may not realize a relationship that is toxic and think this is how relationships and friendships actually does work, based on maybe what we've seen in the past, by how our parents treat each other or how others treat each other in their lives as a couple should, or what have you. Our lack of confidence and self-esteem may make it hard to understand that our friend or partner isn't in fact a real true friend. Some examples of what happens in toxic friendships or relationships may include, as I've shared so many times before, is abuse, which could be physical, sexual, mental, emotional. The relationship that you may have with one person doing all the taking and the other all the giving. This is also described as lack of reciprocity. Gaslighting, this is where a person may try to make you doubt about your own knowledge and experience, as well as doubting you and your own self about who you are and what you are as a person, invalidating you, treating you like you don't matter, it's only them or the highway. Dishonesty, manipulation, telling you not to see friends or family, or intentionally sabotaging your relationships with others regardless what it may be. Being hostile to and or belittling your other friends or family members, especially those that are your supporters that just defend you. Pushing you to do things that you do not wish to and or which are harmful to you or others around you. They belittle you of anything that comes their way, be it your dreams, visions, and that, and they think that, it's not going to forever come true. Frequently blaming and criticizing you. Controlling behavior such as an intimate relationship, one partner controlling the money and spending. This is not, however, an exhaustive list, as there are other kinds of toxic behaviors that comes into play here that I haven't listed today though. But as again, I will link it in the description or in the iBar above yours, or me, shall we say. Autistic people can struggle with seeing issues in relationships and articulating that there's a problem. This has been my experience many times over and over when I, like I said, given many people so many chances, especially when it comes down to many relationships I've had. I've had one uncomfortable feeling about the person, felt like I didn't want to spend time with them, but I couldn't work out from this time about that relationship was doing more harm than good for me. One way to spot toxic behavior, however, is to be aware of your reaction when you meet a person, and we'll see how the communication from them is from online to face-to-face when you meet them. If you're highly anxious or afraid when there is contact with that person, more often than not, this is a sign that the relationship may be indeed toxic. One challenge of dealing with toxic people is that autistic people and others often lack assertiveness and the ability to set some boundaries and rules in place. Even if we are aware the person is toxic, then actually setting these boundaries to enable us to keep our distance can be close to near impossible. Autistic people can also misread the behaviors, the body language, and everything else, and the intent of the toxic people, because we tend to operate on one level in the communication. It can be hard to understand that many other people don't, and that what they say in their words and acts can be very different from what is going on in their minds. If someone is outwardly nice to you, we may not see that as an ulterior motive to move in and actually control us or what have you. It's important to note that toxic people doesn't have to be neurotypical. Autistic people can also be toxic as well. If we have determined that a person is toxic and decided to leave the friendship or relationship, we can fear of their reaction, or we can fear of rejection, or what have you. A lot of fear will come creeping in of different situations and circumstance. This can include catastrophizing and worrying about specific situations in our minds, which are in fact highly unlikely that will happen. We can highly be anxious at the present of unexpected contact with them, and this can lead us putting up with a toxic relationship for a time. In my experience, which I did, when I never have seen toxic people that I've distanced myself from unexpectedly, it's been very unpleasant, but nowhere near as unpleasant as staying healthy in an everyday relationship. So some of the strategies you could do here for tips and advice from a friendly Aspie like me is, this is a very difficult area of human communication. Non-autistic people also have issues with this. Believe you me, we all have been there, done that. Some strategies which may assist you may include of the following from me to give to you today is trust your gut. You know that niggling feeling that you sometimes feel that's eating at your stomach, or some form of fuzzy feeling, or what have you, or whatever feeling it may be, that you know something is wrong, and it's almost a sign that something is wrong to everyone. That is your gut telling you something, although for some people it develops over time. If you know a relationship is toxic and want to distance yourself from that person, put in place a strategy for leaving. Because of the things like, what do you plan to say to them before you leave, if you plan to say anything at all? What and who are you going to use as support system for you? If you need to move locations, how will that work for you? Do you have somewhere safe to go if you need to move to escape from that toxic relationship? How will you manage your mental health after you leave? How will you respond if that person that you were dealing with will turn aggressive on you physically, emotionally, or verbally? Do you have a person you can talk to for practical emotional support? If you or your other friends tell you a friendship or relationship is toxic, take this on board and take it to heart. But don't forever dismiss it, because your friends should, if they were your true friends, will be there to support you when all things goes to custard. Often others are more objective judges of toxic relationships than ourselves, however. If possible, talk it out with a friend or support person about your concerns. Leaving toxic friendship or relationship can often result in the person who left feeling a range of things, which may include relief, fear, resentment, guilt, empowerment, self-doubt, loneliness, and many other forms of emotions. But this is often at the same time. Emotions like this, however, are quite natural, believe you me, but you may need to work through them over time to recover from the toxic relationship or friendship that you had. It can take some time to get over the relationship, so don't forever rush it for your self-healing. Many such relationships cause trauma, even where there is no physical or sexual abuse that has been involved. That form of trauma needs to be worked through, be it talking to somebody, seeing a counsellor, or what have you. Know that it's better to have no friendship or relationship with that person than one which was toxic. Remember that you don't deserve this toxic treatment at all. Nobody does, and you have the right to be respected and feel loved and be supported by others around you. So this quickly ends Autism and Toxic Friendships / Relationships. Smash the like button, comment below. Feel free to share these videos around. Feel free to, follow me on my social media sites. Feel free to, contact me if you need be, if you want to PM me with cause of concern or what have you. So all for the do, guys. Thanks for the support, thanks for watching. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out. See you again soon.